Once you've decided that you're going to have a destination wedding, working with your travel planner or the resort directly, one of the first things you're going to have to get is a contract for your rooms. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the important things to look for in a room contract so that you understand what you're signing for and what you're going to receive for your destination wedding. Hi, I'm Jack with Vacationese. We've been helping clients plan their destination weddings for over 20 years. We've stayed at most of these resorts. I post videos every Tuesday, so feel free to hit the subscribe button here, the bell. You'll get notified so you can get my new videos when they come out. So most of our clients hosting a destination wedding will hold a room block or a contract for their destination wedding. There are a lot of benefits to that. So one of the benefits is price. The price that you negotiate today, potentially 18 months from the time of your wedding, till your wedding will stay the same. Even as the prices of the resort go up, that price will stay the same for all of your guests. You're also going to be able to pick the rooms that you want, and the resort can't sell out. So again, if the resort does sell out, you're holding those rooms, so they can't sell your rooms. The other thing is, with the room contract typically comes perks such as upgrades, free rooms, maybe even some free private events. So there are a lot of benefits of signing that room contract. Let me explain to you some of the issues and things you should look at in a room contract. Your typical room contract, whether it be from us, a travel professional, or a hotel directly, which we, again, if you've seen my other videos, I do not suggest that you try to DIY your own destination wedding. Have a travel professional that has years of experience planning one like us. The first thing is the dates. Just make sure the dates the hotel has on there for when your guests are coming and when they're departing are correct. I know it sounds simple, but I would say 25% of the time we get contracts back from hotels and the dates are incorrect. Now the dates are going to be for what we say is the core stay, which may be the 3, 4, 5 night stay that you want most of your guests to stay. Now the next thing under the dates is going to be a little paragraph with some fine print. Now one of the things that should say in there is that these prices are good for 3 or 4 or 5 days before the core stay and 3 or 4 or 5 days after the core stay. This way, if you have guests that want to come and make it a big vacation, stay 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, they're going to be able to take advantage of the rates for your group for your wedding. Now the next thing you want to look at is the rooms. So as part of doing a room contract, you're going to have to request X number of rooms and X number of type of rooms. So each hotel has different types of rooms. So they're going to ask you to pick them. Now, the nice thing is if you pick them up front, again, you own that inventory, but if you happen to have a guest that goes on the hotel's website and sees the master suite with plunge pool and private rooftop, and they want that, most of the hotels, if they have it available, will give us special pricing and allow us to pull that right into your group block. But you want to make sure that the rooms you're requesting is what you're getting. Now, I will tell you that sometimes the resorts cannot give us exactly what we're asking for, so we put a request in based upon a conversation with you, our client, and in return they may give us something different. It could be that they're sold out. The next thing I want you to look at is the pricing. I know this sounds very strange, but make sure that the pricing is the pricing that we've told you in the proposal. There are many times now that you may have talked to us or your travel professional for 4 to 6 weeks before you requested a contract. And between that first time we spoke a month ago until we request the contract, the resort is changing their prices all the time, just like the airlines. So you want to make sure that when we look at things, the proposal pricing is the same as the contract pricing. If it's not, then it's our job to go back to the hotel and see whether or not they can match that. Another area, and it's called different things, I'm just going to call it perks. The hotel contracts sometimes talk about concessions, it talks about advantages, benefits, but these are the perks that you're going to get for the hotel. So again, you want to review them. So typically you're going to see something that talks about free rooms. The fine print on the free rooms is going to be there. Upgrades, the fine print on there is going to be there. You really just want to make sure that any of the perks that were in the proposal that came from the travel professional are now in the contract. Again, if it was a month or two from the time you asked for a proposal, those can change. The next item I want you to look at is the payments in the financial section. So you're going to see a couple things. The hotel is going to ask for a deposit with the contract. Sometimes it's a flat dollar amount. What we typically are seeing is the deposit is $100 per room that you're going to hold for your guests. The next thing you're going to see are other dates that other monies are due. Sometimes hotels will require additional deposits be made between the time you make the first deposit and the final payment. And those deposits or additional payments typically don't come from you, but they come from your guests. But it'll be in the contract when those deposits have to be made. The other thing, there's going to be a paragraph that talks about cancellations, attritions, and reductions. This is a pretty important paragraph. So what this paragraph is going to give you dates and timelines when, let's say you held 25 rooms and you only need 18 of them. Well, these are the dates of which you have to give back those rooms so you're not penalized. What I suggest to clients is that you put that in your calendar. It's in our calendar, and we're going to be on top of you making sure, because we're going to say to you, all your rooms are due back today. And if you tell us, well, my grandmom says or my cousin says he's still going to come, but he hasn't gotten off of work, just remember at that point, we'll remind you that if you hold this room past this date and they don't come, there will be penalties. The penalties are spelled out in this section called cancellation, reduction, and attrition. And one of the other last items that I think are very important are other dates, which are going to be dates which are required for your guests to have their flight information to us. That will help us schedule their transportation to and from the airport if they're booking their own flights. Because there's a point at which, if we don't have that, you cannot provide the transfers. The transfer company won't take that last minute. And then the other thing is a date in which the rooming list has to come to us. Because remember, once all your guests make the reservations, we then have to coordinate with the hotel and the transfer company, and then we have to create documents, travel vouchers, that we can provide to each of your guests that explain how to get through the airport, the hotel transfer process, who to look for at the airport, and what they need to check in. And that date is typically between 60 and 80 days before arrival of when everything needs to be finalized. Now, if you have someone last minute that wants to attend, typically no problem. As long as the hotel has rooms, they will actually provide them to us and we can book someone last minute. But if they're sold out, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. Well, I hope this is going to help you understand the wedding room contract a little bit better. Again, some of them can go on for 20 pages. Each hotel, each resort company is a little bit different, but we highly suggest that you review it with either us or your travel professional and understand what it is that the contract says.